Welcome to this week's episode of Your Parents' Attic, a dive into your childhood if you were a kid in the 80s and 90s. Today's episode is about AOL Instant Messenger. We all experienced it somewhat if you are around, our age. And in your dorms, if you're a high schooler, it was the way to communicate, especially at school. Before they blocked it, you had a chance to talk to other people in other classrooms and to put up that old away message where you shared your creativity when it came to your away message with the content and the color. I am Glenn Moore, joined here by Greg, and
hello.
We are on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, anywhere you can download your podcasts.
And
we are
Instant
there.
Messenger.
Yeah, we can set up an Instant Messenger. But we're going to reveal our results from signing on to our old Instant Messenger, our original Instant Messenger names. We were able to remember the passwords and sign on over 15 years later, and we will reveal what happened in the second portion of our little session here. But dude, AOL Instant Messenger, it started for me in 2001, and we'll get into the whole history of AOL Instant Messenger and also, how we started and what our results were from signing back on. But, 2001, my freshman year of college, that was the way to communicate with your buddies, all your friends. Hey, what are you doing tonight? And also, it was kind of like the way to see stalking, because you could see who was at the computer, who wasn't, who was away, what they were doing. So you got to get the hints of, who was online and who wasn't. But dude, Instant Messenger was, was my first, we all had AOL. We talked about AOL.
Yeah.
You're able to Instant Message, but, as its own standalone programming. And you can be signed on as much as you want. You sign on and leave it up.
No minutes, no hours. Yeah.
It was cool to see yourself go idle on your computer. You didn't touch your mouse because you wanted to see yourself go idle.
Yep.
But, dude, AOL Instant Messenger, from, the away messages to, people signing on and talking and group chat. It was the text messages now. That was what
I would say it was better than text messages.
No,
honestly.
Well, back then
it was more social.
I never texted.
Oh,
well, in 2001, I don't think anybody.
No,
it was
later than that.
Beepers were the text message basically, but from cell phone to cell phone, texting wasn't really as prominent as obviously it is today. That took off years later, but I feel like being able to message someone down the hall or in across campus or even other state. That was like that was the way to text before texting was on your phone.
Yeah. And we'll get into it, but that was kind of, looking back on it, it's really scary how out there information was involving that. I mean, if you were trying to stalk somebody, like I'm doing air quotes, obviously. But I mean, the whole idle thing.
Yeah.
Somebody, they're online.
They're there.
They've been idle for 11 minutes. Okay, so they might not be there.
Yeah. And then when you're on there and you see them become not idle anymore.
Yeah. Then you're like, hey, they're there. Okay, I'm gonna head over. Yeah,
we're heading over there. Like, you didn't have to next step message them. They were there. And if you're not like in dorms, knock on their door. They're there. They're not answering.
You're not idle, you son of a.
Saw you.
Open the door.
2 minutes ago, you became an idol. I know you're there. But yeah, it was great. Your profile. Witty quotes. Like, it was.
Just, dude, it was. We'll get into what
it was. It was like Facebook. Really it was like Facebook before.
In some ways, again, I'm going to say what I said about text messaging. In some ways, it was more social than Facebook was.
Yeah.
In some, it absolutely was not. But man, and then my personal favorite is when they sign on and then immediately sign off. That's how you know they blocked you.
Yeah.
Because you hear the door open, you hear the door close.
Or they went invisible.
I guess I never really dealt with anybody who went invisible.
You sign on and you forget to do the invisible checkbox.
Sure.
You sign on and you can do invisible yourself. So they signed on really quick and then signed off. Really, they're on because they're invisible. They don't want to be seen like they're online.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they didn't block me. Maybe they were just invisible.
They signed on really quick and blocked you. Jeez, dude, what'd you do?
Oh, I was a real treat in college. I'm a real treat now, but
block that screen name. He's on.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was terrific. So a lot of facts surrounding AOL Instant Messenger that you may not know. Was started 19 years ago here in 2016. So 19 years ago, 97, which is 4 years before the date.
Sounds about right, yeah.
As a standalone program. Let's get into it.
Hold on, I got to change my away message.
So we mentioned in the opening that we were able to remember our passwords and sign on to our original AIM accounts.
For some of us, it was easier than for others. And I kind of just sat and swore at my phone for 5 minutes going, how is this not the password?
My password's been the same for almost 15 years, but...
Hear that, hackers? Glenn doesn't change his passwords.
Different variations of it, though. Still the same kind of remembrance of a word that's featured. Anyway,
Butts 1, Butts 2, Butts 3.
My username is G to the more.
Of course it is.
And that was my AIM. And I was able to log in. And there are people... I'm logged in right now. People who are logged in, and I have my old college buddies, group. I have high school friends. I have family, and I have just like regular buddies that I've met, people I've met, and I had a column for my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, we all did that.
Yeah. That's just the girl that you were dating at the time, and I went to message someone. And there are people signed on, it says, but I think these people have connected their phone to their screen name. So they're not signed on any program. They are just have the text forwarding, because I did send a message to a random person who was on here, and it said it went to his phone. And he did respond, so it does work. He was confused on why I was doing this, but... AIM worked for me. What about you?
I just got a response to a text or an instant message I sent that said, "New phone, who dis?" Who dis? No, I actually got the screen name that I used for the most part to work. If you want to, because now I'm apparently, because you can't log out of Instant Messenger apparently once you've logged into it on your phone. I'm just online, so if you want to instant message me, that's not going to happen. My screen name is Quite Too Vulgar, which is something that I claimed about a sentence I made once when I was drunk, that it was quite too vulgar, and everybody laughed at it, so I thought, I'll just make that my screen name. I had like 15 of them. But no, I had a whole bunch of people that were online as well, and I've messaged a bunch of them, and I actually did not get a new phone, who dis, but I kind of hope I will at some point.
It's, I got a response. Now I'm signed out. I'm not going to be signing in probably anytime soon. And
whatever he's in right now.
When I worked
I see him on my phone.
I had signed off. When I worked for the Plain Dealer, we had a instant messaging system for like people who were across the newsroom and whatnot. But we use ICQ.
Yeah, I used to use ICQ a lot.
So that's still being used right now.
Yeah.
And I guess it was more simple to use ICQ than it is for AIM for them. But these instant messaging platforms are still used by major companies who are in an office type area. They want to message back and forth, don't want to waste emails.
ICQ was interesting if you really think about it.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, but it was... First off, I guess it was a lot more private.
Yeah.
And then before you could send pictures on Instant Messenger, you could send pictures on ICQ. So if you'd randomly meet somebody in a chat room, you'd almost... And this might have been before you did it, because I started using Instant Messenger like 98. You'd meet somebody in a chat room, then you get their Instant Messenger name, and you talk to them for a bit, and then you get their ICQ number so you could see their picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, those were the days. And then they would stop talking to me.
I used the Yahoo chat rooms.
Oh, I used to use Yahoo Chat and Yahoo Games. I used to go on and play bingo with my brother on Yahoo Games and just keep yelling out bingo, and people would get really mad.
Yeah, I would use the then I would, I hated the Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah, it was really bad.
So I would say, hey, what's your AIM? And AIM was a lot more simpler. But yeah, man, chat rooms and instant messaging. Now, and we talked about it before, is kind of like, the away messages, we got creative with them, and BRB, which was pretty simple, but like, people who put quotes, you knew kind of maybe either where they were going, what song they were listening to at that moment, or if they're in a good relationship or a bad relationship because of their quotes and song lyrics that they use. It's like, oh, the girl I like her away message is like about a breakup or something.
It's a it's a Vanessa Carlton song.
Yeah, it's a Michelle Branch lyric. But you would know that you would see that, and you can kind of dictate what that. It was like Facebook. It was like just like Facebook before Facebook took over the world. But it was awesome to use. I know I used it throughout college, and like I said, I just logged on for the first time probably in 10 years. And
I was telling you, I still use it maybe once a year because I in some ways prefer to like transfer files over Instant Messenger.
Wow, still.
Yeah, I'm still not real big on like Dropbox or Google Drive or that kind of stuff. I'd rather I just send it once.
Isn't there a limit of file size for AIM?
There is. Well, no, because you can send a folder. So if you send the folder, it sends each individual. You know, like if I'm sending somebody an album, please don't sue me. If I'm sending somebody an album, it'll send each song by itself.
All right.
Yeah, that's, I still use that every once in a while. I never really look to see who was still on there, and looking at mine, like I'm looking at my list right now, and there's a whole bunch of people that first off, there's a bunch of people that are dead, which is really depressing.
That is.
And then there's a whole bunch of people that I haven't talked to in upwards of almost 20 years. There are people on here that I couldn't even tell you who they were looking at the screen name. So that's kind of weird. I will tell you who is on here that I recognize. Smarter Child.
Smarter Child. I think Smarter Child deserves its own episode.
It might. That kind of artificial intelligence is really weird.
And it kind of, not to do any spoilers, but now it's almost like a smarter version of Smarter Child, which is now Siri.
Yeah.
Which is on every single iPhone. Access it very, very quickly. And Smarter Child,
or Alexa. You can have with Amazon if you don't like crap.
You can have conversations with Smarter Child.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm up at 2 a.m. Nobody's online. I'm bored. I'm going to talk to Smarter Child.
And you could. Like, that's the messed up part about the whole thing. You could have a semi-intelligent conversation with a chat bot.
Remember the little for your box, like you can have your little logo guy that was like the little moving that he's working out, or like he's running. It's like a little logo guy at the corner of the box.
Yeah, I never did that. I just posted 9 Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson lyrics.
But no, it wasn't for a away message. It was like in your chat box.
Really?
Like
no,
it
I
was
have no idea.
Like if
I never saw that.
A person saw it, and then you saw theirs. If they said it was like really. You can download them. I forget what they're called, but you can do that. It was very.
I have no idea what that is.
It was like a little running man, but like he was set to like something that was going like a baseball player or something, and he was moving. It was actual like a moving thing. I can't remember the name of it. It just popped in my head. We did some research on this topic before we do it, but like it just popped in my head right now. Remember Study Buddy?
No.
Study Buddy.
I had a Study Buddy.
Can help
study without pants on. That's a lie.
Study Buddy would help obviously people with studying. So there was a screen name for that, and obviously Smarter Child was the famous chat robots.
Sure.
So yeah, man, it was very, very cool to use this if you signing on, especially in college, and I'm very happy I kind of hit the prime of it when I was in college.
You really did. Yeah, that was you got the peak time of it.
Yeah. And now people are probably logged on right now via like their phone connected to it, and they have no idea.
I don't know, because I keep messaging them and they're not responding.
Well, maybe an old phone. Maybe their old phone number.
Oh yeah, that's a good
still
point.
linked to it. Maybe.
Nobody wants to be my friend on Instant Messenger.
So
that's sad.
1997, first year of AIM. It's still around. You can log in on AOL.com, and there is an app for it as well. Yep. So, hey, let us know your screen name. Let us know your favorite AIM message. Let us know your AOL Instant Messenger experience on our Facebook page. Just go to Facebook, Your Parents Attic Podcast. Before we get to the last closing of our show, let's go to our old school commercial break.
Diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo.
You're late. You want to call home. But something about that phone tells you using your card could be a problem. Are you going to get blocked? Are you going to get overcharged?
I think not.
Now there's a new way to get through. Just dial 1-800-CALL-ATT. It makes any card work from any phone, anytime. Try it now and save 20%.
Your true voice.
Make sure to download the show via the podcast platform. Make sure to like us, subscribe, leave a comment.
Please like us.
And leave us a score. Leave us a 5-star rating. Really appreciate it. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Parents Addict Pod on Twitter. And also Parents Addict Podcast on Facebook. Greatly appreciate it. All the interaction with our shows and ideas that people have been posting on Twitter and Facebook. We will take them into consideration. And more than likely, we will do them because they are a part of our 90s and 80s childhood. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Turn the light off, all right? I keep saying this.